Today on X-Play, basketball.
Yes! Excellent penetration there, Marv.
Ninjas.
Get a load of my ninja skills!
And weasel-like creatures.
That ain't no bug!
Humiliate the Washington Generals.
Will you guys just shut up already?
It's game time. Overconfident, underpaid. It's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Hey there, it's X-Play time. We're sorry.
There are lots of ways you could choose to spend the next half hour.
And you chose us. Not the choice I would make, but thanks, I guess.
Today we review NBA Live 06 for the Xbox 360 and hope against hope that there's finally a next-gen game to get all excited about.
We take a look at True Swing Golf for the DS.
So you can play golf without all that walking and being outside.
And we review Mario Power Tennis Tour. It's a veritable cavalcade of not particularly manly sports.
You can only hope Mario Croquet will be next.
We also review Naruto, Clash of the Ninja, that picks up where Memoirs of a Geisha left off.
Later in the show, we have our review of Daxter, one of the most impressive games about pest control to be released for the PSP.
But first up, the National Basketball Association does an impressive job of giving municipal identities to cities that barely exist.
But when they're not deluding the citizens of Sacramento into believing they matter, they also license the occasional basketball game. Here's their review of NBA Live 06.
Wade gets it inside.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Marv Albert is back.
Yes!
And he's only in NBA Live 06. Now that the b-ball powerhouse has hit the Xbox 360, let's see how it stacks up to the original.
Wrong button, buddy.
The biggest shocker is that EA cut the multi-season Dynasty mode, which was the heart and soul of the franchise. Also benched are mini-games, fantasy drafts, dunk contests, the created team feature, and player-specific superstar controls. That's a lot of missing content.
This one's finished.
What hasn't changed in the transition to the 360 is the tight and intuitive control.
James Posey.
The core of the game is still here, and yes, it's still a ton of fun to play.
Walker firing and score.
The 360 version sports the obligatory graphical boost required of all games shipping on new hardware. Professional basketball players haven't looked this good since the NBA went high def. Of course, it's not all good news. Nothing can prepare you for the chills you'll feel from the emotionless robotic stares of your fully rendered athletes.
Starting at center, Yao Ming.
Even the coaches look crystal clear.
And Stan Van Gundy wants to talk.
All right, boys, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna win this game, and in order to do that, one of two things needs to happen. First of all, we need to kill Yao Ming. Who here has a gun? Wait, everybody? Everybody has a gun. All right, that's good. Second thing we need to do is convict Kobe Bryant of rape. That one's gonna be hard. All right, get out there, boys, and win this game.
Your players actually get sweatier as the game goes on, so by the fourth quarter, they look like they just stepped out of a Turkish bathhouse. Can somebody get Ginobili a towel? Like a lot of other mediocre games, NBA Live 06 tries to make up for its shortcomings with robust character customization. You can change almost all aspects of your appearance, from the size of your head to a salon's worth of terrible hairstyles. You can even adjust the bagginess under your players' eyes. Oh my God, it's Paula Abdul before the facelift. As usual, commentators Marv Albert and Steve Kerr do a great job calling the game.
Odom did a great job there penetrating
With the tip to the rim, Antoine Walker serving up a facial.
You guys need to spend less time in the locker room.
Well, it reminds me a little bit of Wilt Chamberlain. What a terrific ball handler.
Unfortunately, there are only a few camera options. And no matter which mode you choose, you'll constantly find yourself tweaking the settings to get the view you want. Fortunately, Electronic Arts was kind enough to include special features, like this shameless preview of other EA Sports titles. Thanks, guys. Let's face it, this is simply a stripped-down version of a pretty good game. And no amount of extreme makeovers can make up for that. NBA Live 06 gets a 3.
Serving up a facial.
Out of 5.
Marv Albert along with Steve Kerr saying goodnight from American Airlines Arena.
You know, As a young girl, I always dreamed that someone would develop a game where I could watch gigantic Serbian men sweat.
Apparently, sweat graphics are supposed to take the place of multi-year franchise mode and fantasy draft.
Oh, yeah, it's totally the same thing. And like a number of games on the 360, if you don't have an HD set, the graphics don't look that much better.
But if you don't have an HD set, maybe you should consider teletyping the nearest Sears and Roebuck dry goods store and get them to send you one via horseless carriage so you can stop living in the past.
Don't be so judgmental.
Sorry.
Some people don't like quality graphics getting in the way of their sports games, so for them, we've got True Swing Golf for the GS. Here's a review.
Yes, this is the G4 Open Invitational Golf Tournament, brought to you by this stack of money. Sam Cohen here with my co-host Eric, who's still working on his smarmy British accent.
Bollocks.
We now join Morgan Webb on the lower tee of the 4th hole. It's very important that Morgan has complete and utter concentration. Absolute concentration. Concentration that could slice the...
Will you guys just shut up already?
True Swing Golf for the DS is one of the first handheld attempts to add a visceral feel to that age-old sport of golf. Pick your club and flick, flick, flick your way towards victory. The game takes full advantage of the dual-screen system. If the top screen doesn't seem to convey the pristine beauty of tamed wilderness, you can always look at the bottom screen and realize how much worse it can get. The developers obviously spent time on translating how my motions would turn into meters per second squared, but when my 4 pixels of shot hits a 2-dimensional tree, the illusion sort of dies there, kids. A swipe of the stylus carries your ball easily across the field. A slip leaves you in the rough. Golf controls tend to be repetitive, not varying from a nice shot to an awful putt. A friend can join you in a game on one of the 15 courses presented to you in the game. After a while, the game breaks down into a line drawing competition better suited for slow 3rd graders or Jessica Alba.
The cup in the trash can, and the ball, and my aim was pretty good.
Let's face it, golf is boring. We don't need to add bland or broke into that list. True Swing Golf starts out with a good idea. But this one-hit wonder comes up short in the end. That's why we bogey this game with a 2 out of 5. There's only one way to play golf. 5-iron. Play the real game. 4. Spare the lead pipe, spoil the intern.
Morgan, this is why most respectable schools have stopped letting their students intern with us.
Yeah, I don't need any highfalutin Ivy League grads for our interns.
Yep, these kids from Midwestern state schools can carry way more games on their back.
And they've got a higher pain threshold. I appreciate that.
After the break, Mario goes to court. Bird flu. It's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Welcome back to X-Play.
Before the current era, tennis was a sport largely dominated by French-speaking transsexuals.
But thanks to Venus and Serena Williams, America finally has a chance to prove we can make women just as burly as those wine drinkers on the continent.
In an attempt to assert an Asian presence in tennis,
because Asia does love your racket and net-based sports,
Nintendo has decided to get into the game with Mario Tennis Power Tour. Here's our review.
Who's ready for a tense tale of racket-wielding youth gone wild? A high-stakes vault into the gaping jaws of competitive oblivion. A tale of forbidden desire inflaming the pubescent privates of these ball-flailing court masters. A tale of humiliating self-abuse and the awakening spirit of a champion.
Where am I?
You're at G4. Get up and do something entertaining. Mario Tennis Power Tour plants you smack dab in the middle of waves of dramatic tech screens and ball-swatting tennis tourney madness. This title is loaded with active diversion and customizable player attack. The tennis play itself is satisfyingly accurate, and elements like topspin and slices perform admirably. Starting as a cement court nobody won't last long, as an array of arrogant butt plugs nag you constantly to prove your courtly grace. After rubbing your opponent's noses in a steaming pile of their own lack of skill, you'll be able to allocate experience points to improve your own pixeled pal's tennis prowess. Your goal is to advance to an island in battle amidst the titans of planet tennis. With every whack of the furry ball, your racket gets randier. Visually appealing, ballistic power shots, and formidable adversaries ensure long volleys of teeth-pulverizing intensity. Unlocking new players with new skills and abilities keeps the game lively, and your character possibilities seemingly endless. Other unlockables include opportunities for target and physique enhancement that immediately improves your ability to reach for impossible cross-court slams and to hit with greater force and accuracy. Multiplayer via the link cable, of course, will provide a wide array of gaming glee as well. We would have liked to see more of the depth that was included in the Mario Golf title for the GBA, and a few of the shots seemed a bit unbalanced. But overall, this title should deliver a top-spinning grin. We give it a 4 out of 5.
You know, tennis does involve a lot of physical exertion for a sport that's in no way manly.
Yeah, well, tennis has a lot of potential. It has the grunting, the exertion.
The skirts, yes.
You could just use a bit more of an edge.
Like, remember that time when Monica Seles got stabbed by a fan? Now, the game would be a lot better if there were more statics.
True. Or the occasional ball were explosive. Oh. Now, that'd be a real sport.
Up next.
You really think you can beat me?
Clashing Ninjas.
Believe it! Keep it going! Get out of here!
Locate undersea mines. It's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Welcome back to X-Play.
Ninjas are some of the most community-minded members of society. They clean up highways, they tutor children, and they assassinate the leaders of rival clans.
Well, now you're probably saying, but if ninjas are performing all these community services, why don't we see them? Because they're ninjas.
But people continue to fetishize ninjas and treat them like a quasi-mystical band of Supermen locked in some eternal struggle with pirates.
Also, they like putting them in games. Here's our review of one such game, Naruto, Clash of the Ninja.
Oh.
Ever since the dawn of time, X-Play has been getting hate mail from rabid anime fanboys because the anime-based games we review get bad scores. Ooh, so what overrated anime is next on our hit list? Naruto, Clash of the Ninja.
Get a load of my ninja skills!
Most anime fanboys like to question the credibility of our reviews because we don't know the background of the anime. Well, guess what? We know Naruto. Here's a brief prologue. About 12 years ago, a 9-tailed fox demon attacked and nearly destroyed the village of the Hidden Leaf. It was defeated by the Hokage, one of the village's greatest ninjas, and the demon's spirit was sealed into the body of a baby orphan boy. That baby grows up to be Naruto Uzumaki.
I'm Naruto Uzumaki! And don't you forget it! Believe it!
A bratty 12-year-old orphan boy who attends Hidden Leaf Village Ninja Academy. I think it's a magnet program. Although he is despised by all the villagers because his body contains the spirit of the 9-tailed fox, all he cares about is becoming the next Hokage.
I'm one step closer to becoming Hokage! Believe it!
The problem with Naruto is that he's the village idiot, the worst student ninja. I bet they make him use the child safety shuriken.
How do you like that?
And he's the worst looking ninja. What kind of ninja wears an orange tracksuit?
Hey, I've done lots of mental training and I'm well prepared too. Believe it!
Is that your catchphrase? Believe it?
You guessed right. Believe it!
Well, our viewers should believe this. Naruto Clash of the Ninja has to be the simplest of all fighting games. It has 8 characters along with 3 unlockables.
It's my turn! Believe it!
8 stages with 0 interactivity. For a 3D fighting game, Clash of the Ninja has one of the laziest, most oversimplified engines ever seen.
You really think you can beat me?
Special moves are as easy as pushing the pad in any direction and tapping one button. Even the super hyper moves only require you to tap X.
Get out of here!
Wow, I wonder what Naruto says when he's doing his super hyper move.
Believe it!
This game is blander than an episode of Seventh Heaven.
Uzumaki barrage!
Even though Clash of the Ninja is rated teen, this game is meant for the kids or pathetic anime fans who spend their weekend catching the newest episode of Naruto. And although repetitively flashy, this game has to be one of the most plain, basic, and elementary of all fighting games.
Believe it!
I think I better end this review before we get attacked by crazed Naruto fanboys.
Don't take it personally.
We give Naruto Clash of the Ninja a 2 out of 5.
Perfect victory!
Believe it!
You'd better go back to the Ninja Academy for more training.
Believe it!
Am I supposed to buy that kid as a ninja?
He looks like Aaron Carter.
Yes, it's a little hard to be a super secret assassin if you're wearing an orange tracksuit.
But it does make it very easy to be an elderly retiree in Palm Beach, Florida.
They should really make more fighting games of retirees. Yeah, Sun City versus Sun City.
In a moment,
Alive and kicking. Kicking butt, that is.
exterminate this. And Morgan Webb.
It's a qualified glove. Welcome back to X-Play.
Since Jack and Daxter, the precursor legacy, Daxter has earned his place as one of the premier wiseacre sidekicks of platform gaming.
Because games would be nothing without sassy one-liners.
But gaming's premier rodent hybrid sidekick finally has his own game where he works as an exterminator.
Which is odd.
Yeah, it seems like it would lead to rodent-like creature on rodent-like creature violence.
But regardless of the social implications, here's our review of Daxter.
So I move to the right with a chop and a kick and a...
Given the unprecedented success of the Ropers, it was inevitable that the Jack series would create a spin-off for its zoological anomaly of a sidekick. Daxter.
Oh,
The Norman Fell of gaming.
that ain't no bug.
Spending an entire game alone with Daxter sounds about as appealing as an overmodulated Chris Tucker one-man show. But hold on. This is, hands down, as good a game as you're gonna find on the PSP.
Alive and kicking. Kicking butt, that is.
I said game, not writing. The game turns Daxter into an exterminator, a job that fills out the 2 years between Jack 1 and 2. You kill bugs, metal bugs that are susceptible to bug spray. It's better not to ponder. As you can tell, the game looks incredible, like me in the mirror when I'm blind. Trust me, when you see it all smushed down on the PSP screen, you'll swear that it's a mirror image to the PS2 counterparts. Better than that, it nearly replicates the continuous streaming environments of the originals. There are only load screens before cutscenes. Yes, I know, this is on the PSP. Yes, I know, what the hell is wrong with all the other PSP games? Now, while this alone makes it better than any other PSP game out there, it's also really fun to play. The gameplay is a throwback to classic platforming. The emphasis here is on jumping. Remember when jumping was the foundation of platforming, hence the freaking name? You don't, do you? Well, it's fun, and I don't appreciate you making me feel old by thinking that I'm old. I'm only old at heart. The game's combat primarily concerns swatting the bugs. Although it's pretty much just about hitting the square button, there are enough moves to disguise the button mashing. Plus, the game changes things up with different gameplay. Hovercrafts, chases on hovercrafts, and some Simon Says gameplay shoehorned into such relevant parody topics as The Matrix and Braveheart. These aren't fun, so they must have been made by someone from Darfur because it is a nice alternative to being slaughtered. But the controls must screw it all up, right? No. Unlike me in bed, everything pretty much works well here. The camera might do something funny now and then, but hey, it's missing one analog stick. This game is the crutch that Sony's crippled handheld has been crying for. While there are unsatisfying moments, the biggest complaint with Daxter is that all the other PSP games pretty much suck now. So, if you play the game, devote yourself. It's a good, fun time. Let's just hope for a less annoying character next time.
I could ask you the same. Sweet cheeks.
A 4
out of 5.
Daxter is so weak and whiny and annoying. When I look at him, I just feel like co-hosting something with him.
Yes, because weak is the new black.
How else can you explain the popular appeal of such frail male celebrities as Moby and Adrian Brody?
G4's own Kevin Pereira. It's a bright, glorious time for men who lack the strength to lift a gallon of milk.
It's also time for viewer mail. Yes. Today's mail comes from James. He writes, Dear X-Play, I'm leaving for basic training soon, and I'll be away from human contact, X-Play, and most importantly, my PS2 for the next 5 months. What games would you suggest I look into upon my return home, since Lord knows I'll tire of my family and friends inside of a week?
Right, I have to give him credit that it's going to take a week to tire his family. After months of hard physical training, when you get back home, you're probably going to be in the mood to relax.
Right, in that case, consider Harvest Moon. It's a wonderful life. There's no shooting, there's no killing, just lots of gardening and finding yourself a wife.
And if you're allowed to take a handheld bag with you, consider getting a DS and Medios.
Yes. It's exactly the sort of absorbing puzzle game that can help you decompress after a stressful day defending our freedom and America.
Though in 5 months, I might also, say Gears of War.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
We hope.